Hello, guys. Welcome back to a new study stream. So, in today's study session, I'll be covering up some important topics of my physics because I have my revision exam tomorrow. I hope everyone finds this study session helpful as we all know that we don't have much time left for our board exams, and these 20 days are the most crucial part for our preparation because these 20 days will determine our results in our board exams. I hope everyone is well prepared for the board exams. And once again, I wish everyone all the best. The light enters from air to glass that bends towards the moon. If red, blue, and yellow colors are evoked into the same glass cup, in different stuff, then which color the value of I minus reflecting is? Light enters from air to glass, it bends towards the moon. So red. So red will bend away from the moon. So I minus reflected red. So actually I will not consider this one. इनके रेट तो नहीं होगा will be greater so we prepare so we यानी कि blue so it will be on the C blue plus when light passes through a triangle of prism it is observed that for two angles of incidence the angle of deviation is the same when light passes through a triangle of prism it is observed that for two angles of incidence the angle of deviation is always the same. If these falls are true what in the reversing expression according to the principle of reversibility the light traces the path in reversing the direction. Which of the following diagram shows the correct path of light through the lens? Shows the correct path of light through the lens. Correct path of light through the lens. So parallel to first purpose as a concept aspects. Convex, but convex it isotropic, that is concave. Anything of the species of the convex. Species of the concave, superconvex. Convex, convex it is the convex. Concave, does it diverge everything? So let's see. Yeah. So we check first what we can do. So we can check first what we can do. Shows for pulley system. Say which out of statements or one can instruct. There are three pulleys with VR equals to velocity ratio. This one velocity ratio equals to 2. Yes. This one velocity ratio equals to 1. The two pulleys velocity ratio to pulley system with VR acceleration and one pulley system velocity ratio. Yes, please correct. 4. Two pulley systems with VR equals to 2. This is VR equals velocity to velocity ratio. Constant ratio. Running around shows a force of is equal to 40 meter. Acting on a point A. Give the point in different directions. Identify the correct statement. A, B, A, B, A. Give the point A in different directions. P and S are opposite moments. P and S. Now, P and Q are opposite moments. Magnitude of moment of force is maximum R. In R, actually, it's not maximum P and Q. It's C, 5C. Cardinal measures were constituted with each height of 12 centimeter. The positions in the height is index of 4 9 centimeter each area. Each of these points is completely solid. So the center of gravity, okay, 9 centimeter, 8 centimeter, 4 centimeter, 3 centimeter. This is completely solid. So all are 12 centimeter. So 9 minus hollow. So hollow means it will be h by 3. And hollow means it will be h by 4. Hollow means it will be h by 4. It is 12 centimeter. So it's 12 centimeter. So for hollow, complete solid is h by 4. Hollow solid is h by 3. H by 3 for hollow. Hollow h by 3. Hollow cone h by 3. Solid h by 4. So solid cone will be h by 4. So for solid, solid it will be h by 4. Height between 12 September height is equal to 3 centimeter. So 9 minus 2, 3 centimeter. 8 minus 12, 4 centimeter more. 4 minus 2, 8 centimeter more. 3. So 3 centimeter from the base. So it will be 9 centimeter from the base. So it will be 9 centimeter. 8. Let the graph work done versus displacement and constant force. Work done and displacement. So work done by displacement, which is W into D. Therefore, work done is equal to F into D. F into D square. The following is true. Force is acting at an angle of 0 degree with displacement. No, if it is acting at an angle of 0 degree with displacement, then it won't come out. Force is acting at an angle of 45 degree with displacement. Force is acting at an angle of 60 degree with displacement. Force is acting at an angle of 20 with displacement. Cos 60. Cos 60 is equal to 100. Cos 45 to 100. 30 is 90. Z is 100 is 0. ऐसे घूमना रहता है जब भी तेरे को ऐसे ड्राइव था कि यार कोई डिस्कस में ले जाए तो तेरे को उधर फोर्स किया सो डब्ल्यू इज इक्वल टू एफ एस cos थीटा सो तेरे को थीटा ढूंढ के कुछ प्लान करना पड़ेगा ऐसे ठीक है using this experiment with single movable pulley charge at a time single movable pulley the effort mechanical energy and efficiency respectively subsequently after integrating the pulley theory he recalculated the effort and then mechanical energy so the following relationships accurately represents the scenario the effort mechanical energy efficiency so on lubricating the mechanical efficiency will increase. So Z will increase. So Z dash is equal to Z dash is equal to Z naught. Z dash is greater than Z. That is for true. Why? Effort. No, mechanical advantage will be less than that. So mechanical success should be greater. The mean. So it's C. 8C. For a glass block, the I versus R graph is a straight line. When a ray of light undergoes refraction, it follows Snell's law. Yes, the undergoes refraction follows Snell's law. The glass block. These both are true. Yes, these both are true. The glass block I versus R is never straight line. Sign bubbles is that way. Dash of sound of UV is directly on microwaves. UV and microwaves, so wavelength. Wavelength of UV is greater. No. Wavelength is no. Wavelength is so V is equal to lambda into frequency. So शून्य की वजह wavelength ज़्यादा होगी. अगर ये फ्रीक्वेंसी ज़्यादा होती है अगर वेवलेंथ ज़्यादा है तो फ्रीक्वेंसी कम है. फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ यूवी 10C फ्रीक्वेंसी to 11th. So a teenager enjoys playing his music loudly. However, his grandmother consistently also volume. Analyze the wave to identify which characteristic of wave has been altered when the grandmother reduces the volume. Amplitude QR becomes less. QR. That mass of heat separated into materials doesn't matter. Statement A. The heat capacity of substance is 12. B is correct. Specific Q by 1 into delta T. Specific heat capacity is equal to Q by delta T. So rise in temperature. So Q by delta T. So Q 120 by delta T. So it is equal to 12. Heat capacity is equal to so it's actually correct. 12 joule per gram. Yes, but the heat capacity it is 12 joule per 12 joule per degree Celsius. No, joule per degree Celsius. So units पे जाएंगे तो वैसे units पे that resistivity of coal platinum is 2.1. 5 meters of platinum wire will have the same resistance as 1 meter of gold wire. 5 meters of platinum wire will have the same resistance. And platinum. Okay. Which is the correct statement? Resistance is same. 5 meters of platinum have the same resistance as 1 meter of gold wire. Well, actually resistance. हाँ, but here resistivity. So resistivity अलग होता है. Gold wire of 1 centimeter radius will have the same resistance as platinum wire 5 centimeter radius. This is both incorrect हो सकती है. Yes, क्योंकि वो resistive है, वो कितना नहीं करता. Both are incorrect. A switch will serve the purpose of making and breaking a circuit when it is connected to a meter wire. A switch will serve the purpose for making and breaking a circuit when it is connected to a meter wire. What is connected to meter wire runs off a parallel circuit. So A is false. Meter wire has zero potential. Yes, A is false, R is true. The meter wire is at zero potential. We won't break a circuit for sure. So you have to put obviously correct explanation for that, but they're not used for the circuit, so for the purpose of making and breaking a circuit. It is used for the purpose of making and breaking a circuit. यूज़ होता है ब्रेक करने के लिए यूज़ करते हैं बट when it is connected to a neutral wire तो उसको कुछ नहीं होता नेचुरल सर्किट को ब्रेक भी नहीं करते न्यूट्रल बनाने को given broad the letter each other when C and B is connected to A and C are connected positive terminal to both to consider terminal break it's a positive terminal इसके चलो इसमें जाना तो कि इसको ये तेरा बनेगा ये तेरा नॉर्थ को बनेगा ये तेरा नॉर्थ को बनेगा सी जो बनेगा तो हो जाएगा सी तेरा नॉर्थ को बनेगा so A and C are connected to positive terminal तो which of the following equations are correctly balanced ये किया था actually about C and D. The picture shows three cylinders being rotated to a different extent between both L and N. What is largest number held above the number of cylinders? Which combination is correct for any largest number of 24? So देखो longer the length उतना high frequency होता है. So N. So length of air current is inversely proportional. Q. C. D. And the N people shit बनाना है. कैसे? L Q पे लगेगा तो N R पे लगेगा. ऐसा टाइम पर सो जितना लंबा उसका हाइट होता है सो उतना ही ज़्यादा उसका क्या एयर कॉलम होता है फिर जितना कम फॉर्म फिर होता है उतना ही कम उसका एयर कॉलम होने से मैच करना पड़ेगा. Three metals A, B and C. 3 metals A, B and C are separated by the same quantity of heat. Their masses are in the ratio 2:3:4. They show the same rising temperature in the ratio of thermal capacity. So C what is equal to MC rising temperature and mass is specific. Rising temperature is heat capacity. Heat capacity is equal to Q by delta T. So because here C is the heat capacity, no? That ratio is equal to Q by T. So then in that case, so Q कितना है? One. 18A. 1:1. Temporary T. Level the direct charge of copper conductors of diameters D, 2D and lengths of L. The increasing order of the resistance. So रेजिस्टेंस डिपेंड्स ऑन थिकनेस, जितना ज़्यादा लेंथ होगा उतना ज़्यादा उसका इंक्रीजिंग ऑर्डर, यानी कि लास्ट में 3 होगा, लास्ट में बी होगा, लास्ट में बी होगा और बी से पहले तो जितना कम उसका डायमीटर होता है उतना ज़्यादा उसका रेजिस्टेंस होता है। इसका मतलब कि डी आएगा, ए सी डी बी, ए सी डी बी, ए सी डी बी। जितना ज़्यादा लेंथ होता है उतना ज़्यादा उसका रेजिस्टेंस होता है, जितना कम उसका रेडियस होता है उतना ज़्यादा उसका रेजिस्टेंस होता है, लेकिन जितना थिक उसका रेडियस होता है उतना ज़्यादा कम रेजिस्टेंस होता है। The diagram shows the magnificent dome at Gold Bumba of Japan. The boy standing at where whispers, and it is clear where a P across the huge dome. The distance traveled by the soundless expressway should be less than 3.4 km. The sound reflected within 0.17 half of wavelengths. It is heard. East to Arispas. East to Arispas. East was Arispas. Sound reflected within 0.1 seconds. No, within. Air blowing in the room. No. So plant एक कौन पास है, ठीक है, एक टेबल में रखता है, so मैं रखता है फ्लोर के पास होगा, so now it is on the reverse condition. So the current starts flowing through AC wire concealed in the adjacent wall. Yes. Vibrations are produced when the man starts walking. Vibrations are produced due to 5 elements and 500. So it is C. Current starts flowing through the AC wire concealed in the adjacent wall. Two substances A and B have the same mass. Substance A has higher specific heat capacity than B. So they both have the same. मतलब इन दोनों की specific heat capacity अलग अलग होगी. Same amount of heat. So A has higher specific heat capacity. Higher specific heat capacity मतलब कि substitute for same amount of heat energy. So A will experience a smaller temperature than B. A will experience larger temperature than B. A. Only to A. क्योंकि ए का स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा है, स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी ज़्यादा मतलब कि वो ज़्यादा हीट एनर्जी लेता है अपने आप को अपने टेम्परेचर को राइज करने के लिए। अगर लो स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी मतलब अच्छा कंडक्टर, मतलब कि थोड़े से टेम्परेचर में ही अपने मतलब थोड़े से हीट एनर्जी में अपना टेम्परेचर बढ़ा देता है इसीलिए। The student traces the path of a light ray through the glass prism for different angles of incidence. He analyzes each diagram and draws the following conclusion. On entering the prism, the light ray bends towards its base. Entering the prism, the light ray bends towards its base. Yes. Light ray suffers refraction at point of incidence. Suffers refraction of incidence. Yes. So 1 and 2 are correct. An emergent ray bends at a certain angle to the direction of the incident. While emerging from the prism at second surface, the angle of refraction is less than angle of incidence at the surface. We 1, 2 and 3 over it. 1 is short circuit. 1, 3 and 4. 5 over 1, 2 and 3. This 2 is also there. So we have 1, 2 and 4, so it's not an option. The following diagram shows the current was encountered in the ring and the ring is lifted. C. Sometimes the sky appears reddish in the universe. Red being longer in wavelength, scattered more than other colors. A, yes, A is to R is first. 25. A is to R is first. It is because red being longer in wavelength reaches our eyes before other colors. Other colors being of lower wavelength gets scattered in atmosphere, whereas a red color of higher wavelength reaches to our eyes. And the displacement is zero. The work is zero. Yes. So if the work done is zero, then it is necessary means that displacement is zero. Work done is calculated by relation F W is equal to W is cos theta. When A is false, R is true. A is false, R is true. क्योंकि कंपल्सरी नहीं कि डिस्प्लेसमेंट जीरो होना चाहिए फोर्स पे जीरो रखता है फोर्स के डिस्प्लेसमेंट भी जीरो which of the following statement is correct cos theta अगर जीरो हो तो क्या करोगे तुम which of the following statement is correct the frequency of a stretched string is frequency of a stretched string is okay directly proportional to the string but inversely proportional to the tension of the string no it is directly proportional to tension of the string directly proportional to the tension of the string no, T no, T inversely proportional to its length but directly proportional to the square root of tension so directly proportional to square root of tension so frequency is directly proportional to the square root of the tension of coil. Area of light passes obliquely from optical medium to reflected index 1.0 to another medium of refractive index 1.4. While passing from the first medium to the second medium, the light wave will so देखो so refractive index पहले वाले में कम है so R1 का refractive index R2 से ज़्यादा मतलब कि R1 का 1 दे दिया मतलब कि इससे refractive index कम होता है मतलब कि स्पीड ऑफ लाइट ज़्यादा है इसमें स्पीड ज़्यादा है इसमें स्पीड ज़्यादा है तो मतलब कि जब वो अगले वाले refractive index में जाएगा मतलब उसकी स्पीड कम हो जाएगी उसकी स्पीड कम हो जाएगी तो उसकी स्पीड कम हो जाएगी then it will bend towards the A bend towards the A this is purposefully done so that you as an object should stand beyond the center of curvature of the camera lens beyond the center of curvature of camera lens but surely not at an infinite distance the characteristics of image found are that it can be taken on screen and it is also a dimension size so the everything there is characteristic rivers which originate from the glaciers at high altitudes have supply of water throughout the year. This is because ice in mountains does not melt all at once. This is due to high no, this is not high specific capacity of water. This is due to specific latent heat of fusion. This is due to specific latent heat of fusion of ice. Specific latent heat of fusion of ice. If three resistors are on water current in series, then what is the relation between currents? So if they are current in series, so series का मतलब कि SIV. SIV मतलब कि उनकी current same होती है and they are flowing through them. Okay, so it will be I1 equals to I2 equals to I3. What is the ratio of wavelength between P, Q, R? So ratio of wavelength. So ratio of wavelength. So इसमें देख ये को कितना कंपेयर कर लेते हैं 1:2:3 2:3 okay only kinetic molecules of energy of molecules increase but potential energy remains same. Only potential energy of molecules increase but kinetic energy remains same. No. Both kinetic and potential energy of molecules increase. There is no increase. So only both kinetic and potential energy increase. Only the potential energy increases, kinetic energy remains. Okay. जब भी बॉडी को तुम सॉलिड बॉडी को तुम हीट दे रहे हो सो उसकी जो पोटेंशियल एनर्जी वो इंक्रीज होती है जो काइनेटिक एनर्जी वो सेम ही रहती है when current is passed through a wire the magnetic field is generated around the wire okay it becomes an electromagnet when there is a charge whenever there is a change of magnetic flux linked to the coil an induced current is generated in the coil yes both A and R are true but R is not the correct extension of A which of the following combinations correctly shows the charges on the particle proton alpha particle electron neutron neutron का तो नहीं होगा शायद वो एक प्रोटॉन न्यूट्रॉन अल्फा C proton atom alpha. Anu and Amy purchase ice creams in plastic balls and cones. After consuming the ice cream, Anu stated that regardless of whether they were filled with ice cream or empty, the center of gravity of the objects would remain unchanged. Do you agree with Anu? No. No, we won't agree with Anu because the ice cream is conical in shape. Because the ice cream in plastic balls and cones. Because ice cream in plastic balls, because the center of gravity in ice cream balls and plastic balls would remain the same. And the sphere remains the same, while the center of gravity in hollow cones will be h by 3, whereas that in solid cones it will be h by okay, in solid cones it will be h by 3. Solid cones it will be h by 3. Solid cone h by 3 over. Which of these points solid energy h by 3? Yes, solid cone h by 3 है. Solid h by 4 होता है. Solid h by 4 होता है. Solid cone h by 4. So solid cone will be h by 4, the solid cone will be h by 3. Now the picture below shows a white triangular rope ladder. Okay. Picture finds it difficult to climb the ladder as it turns about the axis where it is holding. The instructor tells the body to stretch the body with the hands stretched up, making the body parallel to the ladder and climb. Which force caused the ladder to turn? Kinetic energy. His own weight causes the torque on his body and turns about his hands holding the ladder. His own foot of the body. How does keeping the body parallel to the ladder make climbing easier? It increases the distance. By stretching, keeping the body parallel to the ladder decreases torque, reducing torque and making it easier to climb. By decreasing torque. So if we keep it close, खुद की बॉडी में डाल रहे हैं खुद की बॉडी डालो वहाँ पे वो पिवटेड है सो ये कि वो लाइन ऑफ एक्शन फोर्स है सो अगर वो उसको स्ट्रेच करेगा अपने बॉडी को स्ट्रेच करेगा then he is decreasing the moment then he is decreasing the distance then he is decreasing the distance of the torque hence less torque will be a torque reducing the torque and making it easier. Regenerative braking involves harnessing the energy that is typically lost when you are PC levels and braking instead of using to recharge the battery. Heat energy to kinetic energy to heat energy, kinetic energy to heat energy. That results in the wastage of energy in a normal car engine. How does regenerative braking differ from normal braking in terms of energy conversion? Regenerative braking, the heat energy lost can be kinetic to electrical energy. Kinetic to electrical energy. This kinetic to electrical energy. Push. Larger the air column, lesser the frequency. Lesser the air column, larger the frequency. Yankee P. Because indeed the air column is lesser. The air column is lesser due to the air column is lesser, and we know that frequency is inversely proportional to air columns. Hence, we will produce a higher musical amount of higher pitch. When Shyam the band leader struck both the bass drum and the kettle drum with equal force, the bass drum entered a lower sound measurement. The kettle drum produced a bass drum sound of 90 decibel. Explain this discrepancy in the loudness. When Shyam struck both the bass drum and the kettle drum, the bass drum produced a louder sound because of its larger surface area. The larger surface area produces a loud sound, whereas the kettle drum having lesser surface area than the bass drum produces not much so loud sound. The ratio of resistance of A, B, and C. So L 3 L 2 L A. So R is equal to L square, R is equal to 3L square, R is equal to 2L square. So it will be just 1 is to 12 is to 4, 1 is to 12 is to 2 is to 4. Mention two copper wires of length 1 is to 2, of length of ratio of 1 is to 2 that have their cross sectional areas in the ratio 1 is to 4. So they are of length. So they are of length 1 is to 2. So the specifications. So two copper wires of length 1 is to 2 and their cross sectional areas in the ratio. So area is 1 is to 4. Their length is 1 is to 2. So resistance is equal to resistance is proportional to resistance. One is to 4. So 1 is to 4 is the ratio of the resistance, specific resistance. Ratio of specific resistance is equal to two copper wires. No, that means it will be 1 is to 1. Two copper wires means it will be 1 is to 1. Copper wires are the same. This is the result. Is equal to P into 1 is equal to P. R is equal to 1 by E. Yes, yes. R is equal to 1 by R is equal to 1 by AB is the merger and PQ is its real inverted image. The length of AB and PQ are equal. Thus, when lens is present between the object and its image. Convex lens is used here. The position of the lens here is when it is used to be placed the distance equal to at the midpoint of the distance between the objects to at a point equidistant from the image and object. Name a device where this lens action is used. So let's just enter the lens into the students. Photocopy Xerox machine. So in Xerox machine you got this. Okay, so in Xerox machine photocopy and metal telescope. The two metals A and B are the specific capacity in the ratio 2:3. If they are supplied the same amount of heat, then which metal piece will show greater rising temperature? So they have specific heat capacity used. यानी कि जिसका कौन सी हीट कैपेसिटी है वो वाला टेक्सचर ये the same amount of heat यानी कि ये कैंसिल हो कि ये ऊपर आ जाएगा मतलब कि 1 by T1 into mass कितना 2 by 1 by T2 into 4 2 by 3 is equal to delta T2 by delta T1 into 5 and into 3. T2 is to T1 equals to 2 is to 4. Yeah, but in the ratio of metal A and metal B, it will be 5 is to 4. So two plates supply cones of same vertical height. One of the two cones is a solid cone, while the other is a hollow from inside. By measuring the cross-sectional areas of cross-sectional cones from knowledge of symmetry by using suitable formulas, she found the positions of center of gravity of both cones. Cones is about 1.5 cm. What is the vertical height of the two cones? We found the position of center of gravity. So देखो एक का होगा h/4, दूसरा होगा h/3। सबको ढूंढना पड़ेगा वेल अगर ये ज़्यादा है तो लेकिन इन्वर्टर कम होगा, अगर एक कम है तो इन्वर्टर ज़्यादा होगा क्योंकि h/4 इज इक्वल टू 1.5। अगर ऐसा है तो फिर ये 4h - 3h/4 रिजल्ट इज 1.5 होगा। और फिर ये h इज इक्वल टू 1.5 into 4 होगा, and 5 to positive 0 होगा, 10 to 2 plus 1 3, 30 plus 1 plus 5 18 centimeter. Seismic waves have different frequencies. During earthquakes, where short-lived buildings more prone to damage caused by high-frequency seismic waves. They are more prone to damage of high-frequency seismic waves because they are proportional to the air volume. Natural frequency of a body is inversely proportional to the length of the body. Natural frequency of the body. Natural frequency of the body is inversely proportional to the length of the body. High-frequency seismic waves can resonate with the short-lived buildings and due to large amplitude of vibration cause more damage. So why do seismic waves in earthquakes or short length due to buildings are prone to damage caused by high frequency seismic waves? High frequency seismic waves. High frequency seismic waves are more so short length buildings. So natural frequency. First one, not natural frequency is inversely proportional to air current. To length of the building. Length of the is inversely proportional to the length of the body. Natural frequency. Natural frequency is inversely proportional to length of the body. Lesser the length of the body, more its natural frequency. Therefore, high frequency seismic waves can resonate with the short in buildings, and they can vibrate with larger amplitude, thereby causing a time to. Will the center of gravity of a hollow sphere filled with half mercury and half oil be identical to that of empty hollow sphere? No. The center of gravity will shift towards the mercury side as the position of center of gravity depends on the distribution of mass. He is trying to raise the load. Lower the load. 1 kilogram force is equal to 10 Newton. And 1 kilogram force is equal to 10 Newton. So 10 Newton is equal to 1 kilogram force. Remember that. This is a question. Slow. Which class does this lever belong to? So lever belong to 4 before lever so it's 3 lever. It's a C group. So the mechanical amount is 3 plus a load or effort. Mechanical amount is greater than 1. Well, will it be greater than 1? Well, that is equal to effort on by load on. So effort on by load on. Whereas in second one, so the frequency will be at hand. So the load will be at middle, therefore it will be at last. So flow down will be greater. So it will be greater than 1 if it is class 2 lever. If it is class 3 lever, so it will be less than 1 if it is class 3 lever. If it is more, the load is inversed. sugar tanks. Class 3 was effort and there was a low something percentage is equal to output by so load by effort. So load by effort 10 by 5 into 2. So it is greater than 2 and it is class 2 level. Convert SI unit. Convert SI unit. 1 joule per gram per Fahrenheit. So 1 Kelvin is equal to 32 degree Fahrenheit, I guess. 1000 joule per kilogram. 1 into 1.8 into 1000 joule per kilogram degree Celsius. 1 degree Celsius is equal to 1.8 Fahrenheit. Okay, so 1 into so 1 joule 1 into 1000 1 into 1000 into 1.8 1 into 1000 into 1.8 degree Celsius kilogram per joule per kilogram per degree Celsius. Why does 1 gram of water 0 degree Celsius have 336 more heat energy than 1 gram of ice at 300 degree Celsius? Because 1 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius due to specific latent heat of fusion or high specific latent heat of fusion of ice requires 336 joules of energy. Is used to increase the potential energy due to an increase in intermolecular separation. So the latent heat of ice is 336 joules. 1 gram of water at 0 degree Celsius. 1 gram of water at 0 degree Celsius has 336 joules more heat energy than 1 gram of ice at 0 degree Celsius because water at 0 degree Celsius because water because ice due to its high specific latent rate of fusion of ice requires 336 joules of heat energy to break its molecular to break its bond for its molecular separation. Therefore, it consumes 336 joules of heat energy. Whereas 1 gram of water, no, therefore 1 gram of water does not break up. It does not need to separate from it. Does not require any molecular separation. Therefore, it does not utilize the 336 joules of heat energy. Nodding head. So nodding head. So we इधर और for डालते हैं. लोड इधर करते हैं. इधर for डालते हैं. So लोड इधर करते हैं. Nodding head. Nodding head is C. Lifting body weight on your toes. Lifting body weight on your toes. ये फुल्का है. ये तुम्हारा लोड है. Redraw the diagram by linking points A, B, C to point X, Y, Z in the socket. So 0 volt. So C is earthing. So C will go to X, that is for sure. To Y and Z. So its a potential difference across these two is 240 volt and across RC is 240 volt. And both are at same potential, that means B is at neutral Y. So when you put it like this, so left will be for neutral, so left will be for live. That means when you put here, so Y will go to neutral. So Y will go to neutral. So Y is B. Y is B. Y is for B. Y is for shitty dimension. Energy of जब भी तो ड्रा करें so length होता है philosophy. So when rocket will ऐसे when rocket was statement rocket so लेकर जाना पड़ेगा. Ashish, Samir and Aditya need to get married. In a gold atom, an electron revolves around the nucleus in a circular orbit. This is a strong electrostatic force between the positively charged nucleus and the negatively charged electron. Though the total positive charge possessed by the nucleus is much higher than the negative charge of the electron, there is no displacement of electron in the direction of the force. Total positive charge possessed by the nucleus is much higher than the negative charge of the electron. There is no displacement of the electron in the direction of the force. Centripetal force. In the absence of such force, what would happen to the movement of electron? It would move it is centripetal force. The electron would have moved in a straight line along the tangent of the circle. In the absence of such a force, the electron would move in a direction, would move in a direction at a tangent, would move in a straight line along the tangent to the circle. It would move in a direction. It would have moved in a straight line along the tangent to the circle. The straight wire is passed vertically through the cardboard sprinkled with iron filings. When current is passed through the wire in upward direction, it is passed vertically particularly through a current wire sprinkled wildly, structure the wire in upward direction. It is seen that iron function consists of important way because a definite pattern because when current passes through wire, the wire becomes the wire gets magnetized and turns into electromagnet. Due to which it develops magnetic field, and iron fillings get arranged then according to the magnetic field. That's it. Then what would happen to this element if more current were passed? If more current were passed through the wire, then the iron fillings would arrange in a more definite pattern. Concentration of magnetic fillings will increase. That is, the number of concentric circles. Number, number of concentric circles will increase. Number of concentric circles will increase up to a greater distance. On a hot summer day, we often put ice cubes to cool the water. Right? On a hot summer day, we often put ice cubes to cool the water. On a hot summer day, we often put ice cubes to cool the water. We often put ice cubes to cool the water. In a hot summer, we often put ice cubes to cool the water because ice liquids high specific rate of fusion of ice absorbs additional 336 joules of heat energy from the water, thereby reducing the temperature of water and keeping it cool. This water also appears in the given circuit. Meenakshi replaced the ammeter by a voltmeter by mistake. Will this circuit work? Well, she kept the ammeter and then she kept a voltmeter. Yes, the circuit will work. So, speaking of voltmeter is a high resistance source. Ideally, its resistance is infinite. So if by mistake the ammeter is replaced by voltmeter, the total resistance of the circuit will also become infinite. So if total resistance becomes infinite, in that case current flowing through circuit will become zero. So if current flowing through circuit becomes zero, then the circuit the circuit will not work properly. If your ammeter is replaced by voltmeter is a high resistance device due to which the resistance of the circuit becomes infinite. In such case, the current becomes zero. If current becomes zero, due to which current flowing through the circuit becomes almost becomes zero, and the circuit will not work properly. The meter rod is half made of copper and half made of iron. The mass of copper part is 900 gram and the mass of iron is 800 gram. Then calculate the position at which the rod can remain in equilibrium. So 900 plus 800, which is equal to 1700. So एक rod है 1700 by 2 करना 2 8 or 16 850. So 8 850 10. So 8 850 10. So the acid like the players reaction distance tension. Yes, that means Q will face compass speed. This is because the direction of magnetic field produced on the compass speed is in the same direction. It's the same direction, but it is opposite to compass speed. So in order to align with the direction, magnetic field की ऐसे जाएगा करंट या ए पे भी जाएगा magnetic field इस तरफ से so Q तो इस तरफ ही जाएगा उसी डायरेक्शन पे जाएगा E जो है वो उसी डायरेक्शन पे जाएगा the heat difference between the temperature of water at bottom and top of waterfall. Calculate the height of waterfall. By pressure of conservation of energy, mgh is equal to mc delta T. Mgh is equal to mc delta T. So mg m so this m इनको cancel कर देते हैं ch bh is equal to c delta T. So delta T का हमको पता है delta T. Because of the surface of the glass water is hot, so it acts as convex lens. The surface of the glass with water is curved, so it acts like convex lens. Thus, due to reflection through convex lens, it appears bigger. The water surface along with water acts as convex lens. So it acts as convex lens. Therefore, due to reflection through convex lens, it appears bigger. And then why does straw appear discontinuous in water? Straw appears discontinuous in water due to reflection when light passes through water. Lateral displacement takes place, which shifts the position of image and makes it appear discontinuous. The straw appears discontinuous in water because when light travels when light passes through water, refraction takes place. Due to which refraction takes place, lateral displacement takes place, due to which shifts the position of image and makes it appear discontinuous. किसी पर्सन के आने से तो उतना इन्फ्लुएंस हो जाएगी Q and R. Point Q. If the ray after entering the prism suffers total internal reflection, what sort of light position should be initiated to ascend over? Ascend over. Read excerpts from the story and answer for the questions. On the stage, a soft iron box sits topped by hidden copper coil platform. Conductive to electricity. I summoned a man who fancied himself a modern day virtuoso onto the stage and challenged him to lift the iron box. He and the way of my music and the evidence which I told him said to take away. Simply lift the box again, he struggled unable to reach it. Hmm. The secret behind the magic, the secret behind the magic. The secret behind the magic is that when there's when the coil, the switch is put on, the coil turns into magnet and it attracts the magnetic box to it. That's it. वो magnet में होता है जिसकी वजह से वो soft iron box और नहीं पाता मुश्किल होती है. If you're asked to design the same magic in a science lab, do the necessary circuit diagram. Give any one device that works on the same principle. Motor. Electric pulse and electric pill. Which one of the switches S1 or S2 should be open so that total resistance equals to 4 ohms? Total resistance equals to 4 ohms. S2 open किया so फिर सिर्फ ये बचा है और ये बच गया so 12 so 1 by 12 और 1 by 4 1 by 12 और 1 by 4 कितना ज़्यादा पड़ेगा 8 plus 1 by 4 और 1 to 4 1 तो 12 आ जाएगा 12 by 2 3 आएगा equal to 4 ohms. The total resistance is equal to 3 ohms मतलब कि तेरे को S1 क्लोज करना पड़ेगा सेकंड वन के लिए S1 है ठीक है पहला अगर सेकंड वन क्लोज कर दिया तो फिर ये तो कॉलम नहीं आएगा कि 1 by 6 plus 1 by 4 कितना जाएगा 1 by 6 plus 1 by 4 हो जाएगा 2 3 जा 2 2 जा और आउट से 98 4 3 जा 12 हो जाएगा यानी कि 2 plus 12 है ना इसको 2 plus 3 यानी कि 5 by 4 बिल्कुल नहीं है current through 4 ohms is 3 by 4 का 2 current ये शायद सी शायद S2 और S3 है तो 6 1 by 6 plus 1 by 2 1 by 6 plus 1 by 2 6 1 by 6 2 is 12 okay तो यानी कि 2 plus 1 plus 3 by 2 is equal to 4 ohms. The given diagram X represents a conductor carrying current into the plane of the paper and kept in magnetic field. Represents the poles of a magnet and concentric circles of magnetic field produced by the conductor. X represents a conductor carrying current paper and kept in magnetic field. Okay, represents the poles of magnet and concentric circles. State the direction of the force experienced by the current conductor. So take so magnetic field so direction of force. So magnetic field इसकी इस तरफ जा रही है magnetic field इसकी इस तरफ जा रही है जबकि the current एक यानी कि इस तरफ होगा इसका current so the direction of force is upward direction wait downward direction है तो इस तरफ जा रहा है अभी ऐसे नहीं जा रहा current देख ऐसे जा रही है लेफ्ट हैंड में मतलब इस तरफ जा रहा है हाँ मतलब करेक्ट हाँ ऐसा ऐसा हाँ ऐसे downward direction is right hand controlled. Explain the cause of the above set force. The cause of the above set force is Lorentz force. When a current can conduct when a conductor magnetic field due to conductor and magnet are in the same direction while the below conductor is in opposite direction. Above the conductor magnetic field due to conductor and the magnet are in the same direction while below the conductor is in the opposite direction. The name the law used to determine the direction of force in the conductor. Fleming's left hand rule. So Fleming's left hand rule. Yes. Arrange the following pendulums according to their natural frequencies. Natural frequency is actually inversely proportional to the size of the body. So XW should X when the X of y is less than W. Y is less than W. Y is less than Y is less than W. W is less than Z. Z is equal to X. Yes. If pendulum Z is initiated into oscillations, which pendulum impulse will exhibit the highest amplitude vibration X? Give reasons for your answer. As X and Z share identical natural frequencies, Z will resonate and vibrate with greater amplitude. So the specific heat capacity is bigger than mass of heat. In mass and specific heat capacity. Heat capacity सेम ही रहेगी, वो इंक्रीज नहीं होता रहेगा, स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी सेम ही रहेगा. वाटर ग्राफ मतलब स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी चाहे मास बढ़ता ही चाहिए, लेकिन उसका स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी सेम ही रहेगा, इसलिए स्ट्रेट लाइन है. In which material is a relatively better conductor? Relatively better conductor. So एक वैसे स्पेसिफिक हीट कैपेसिटी दोनों का तो सेम है. हीट कैपेसिटी को देखते हैं. सो हीट है. सो ज़्यादा मास होने पर वो कम हीट उसका हीट कैपेसिटी कम होता जाएगा. मतलब कि वो जिसकी हीट कैपेसिटी भी कम है, सो वो भी अच्छा कंडक्टर है, यानी कि बी. दूसरे क्वेश्चन पर Therefore, circuit diagram illustrates a copper wire placed on two copper wires stretched over a wooden base placed between two poles of magnets. This entire setup is placed on a compression balance, which shows a weight of 4.4. The reading on the compression balance. The reading on the compression balance will increase when we increase the current in the circuit. When we increase the current in the circuit, the reading will decrease. Reading on compression balance will increase. Stretched over a wooden base. जो ये बेस है ये कॉपर वायर स्ट्रेच वाले कॉपर वायर से तब ये मैग्नेट बन जाएगा मिस्टर को जब भी स्विच आएगा तो फिर ये मैग्नेट बन जाएगा जब ये मैग्नेट बन जाएगा तो फिर ये अट्रैक्ट कर लेगा ना इनको जब ये इनके तरफ अट्रैक्ट होगा तो फिर ये कम वेट एक्सर्ट करेगा तो स्विच को क्लोज करेगा मतलब करंट गया मतलब कि इसका वेट बढ़ेगा सो इसका मतलब कि वेट इसका बढ़ेगा है इफ़ यू इंक्रीज द करंट इन द सर्किट अगर करंट इंक्रीज करोगे तो फिर वो वापस हो जाएगा मतलब कि इफ़ यू इंक्रीज द करंट इन द सर्किट करंट बढ़ाओगे करंट बढ़ाओगे सो इसकी अल्टरनेटिव पावर बढ़ेगी फिर वापस लूप हो जाएगा ना सो रीडिंग ऑन द कंप्यूटर balance will decrease not increase it will decrease in the rule used to come to the conclusion in A fans left hand rule now yes fans left hand rule force work power and energy they saw the tumbler filled with water hanging from top which its support passing out the door and inquiring about the tumbler authorities he said that it acts as a pullback after opening and raising the door. Initially, the center of gravity of a tumbler is vertically below the fixed support, so the torque on the door is zero. As the torque comes zero, but when you push the door to open it, the tumbler moves away, and now there is some torque. Now there is some torque. There is some torque which acts on the door to turn the door to its original position. Principle of
Are you
moments.
kissing it? I'm.
Hmm? Hmm. 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 The Convex lens of power is relative. Hmm. When the door is closed, initially the center of gravity is vertically below the fixed support. So the torque on the door is up. But when you push the door to open it, the tumbler moves away. principle of units. Throughput plus 5D. The concave lens ಗಳು focal length negative ಇರ್ತದೆ. So ಇವು main ಇದೆ. So it negative positive margin ಇರ್ತದೆ convex lens like instead of positive positive ಇರ್ತದೆ. Total of the convex lens. So nature of image model it is a real image. Image is real and diminished. What is the definite distance towards or away from the lens? Object should move so that image is not seen. Jonathan. The diagram below shows a well-connected wire to wire control switch. Observe the diagrams and answer the questions that follow. Which of the following circuits will be able to switch on and off the bulb using both the switches? Both the switches, yes. ये इस तरफ आएगा, so ये इस तरफ आएगा, so आए connection बनेगा. At present, in which circuit is the bulb going? In B circuit. If we interchange the L and N wires in circuit B, will the circuit work? No. Yes, no, yes. The circuit will function, but the appliance current will not be running zone flow. It's a type of resistance, so the type of an answer question follow. If we increase the current in the reverse circuit, as in a rheostat, okay. Will the reading of voltmeter decrease or increase? Like follow to rheostat current increase करता है, तेरे को पता है V is equal to IR. So if we increase the current, then voltmeter. So reading of voltmeter will increase. So reading of voltmeter will increase. Voltmeter क्या बोलता है? Voltmeter is the difference of voltage. This is because voltmeter shows terminal voltage, and increasing current increases potential drop, which decreases terminal voltage. Potential drop is against factors. So it is filled energy, it is h by 4. If you apply the effort, which is equal to 3 centimeter from the base. 3 centimeter above the base. It becomes 4 centimeter away from the base. It will shift towards its apex. Towards its apex. Pavel wanted to grow a plant in the bunker, so he filled it completely again with himself. It will be the same 3 centimeter friction. 3 centimeter. No, it's not this one. Cos 30 is equal to 1 by 2. Cos 30, no, cos 30 is 1 by root 2. 1 by 2. This is because while pushing the block by inclined plane, some energy is wasted to work out the friction between the block and generator. So work on the block and increasing the rotation energy is different because while pushing the block to an inclined plane, some energy is brought in the form of friction. Also. So potential energy okay, so potential energy at the point P is equal to kinetic energy at bottom. So H. So mgh will also be same, but if I got so it will be half mv square. Half mv square. 3h. 3 mgh. Kinetic energy at point C. Kinetic energy at point C. 2 mgh. 3 hydroponics. APC is a glass block whose two sides AB and BC are at right angles. The area of light is incident surface AB shown in the diagram. Angle of incidence at surface AB. The K 132 degree. Area 132 degree. The K बचा 132 minus 180. ये 48 degree हो जाएगा. ये 48 degree हो जाएगा. 48 plus 90. So 48 plus 90 will become 138. 138 minus 138 मतलब कि ये 42 degree होगा. 42 degree मतलब कि ये 48 degree होगा. The angle of incidence is equal to 48 degree. What is the critical angle for the glass block PC? For glass block PC. So glass block PC the critical angle will be. So ये 42 degree. So 42 degree मतलब कि इधर आके एक इधर 40 इधर 48 था. इधर 48 इधर 48 इसीलिए इधर 48 था क्योंकि इधर 48 हुआ. So 48 minus so minus 90 38 to minus 90. Temperature rise for increases, then refractance decreases. If refractance decreases, critical angle increases. Force of friction offered by AP. Profit is equal to F into 3. So F1 will produce more torque. F2 is equal to F1 plus 0.2. Diameter is 0.2 into 0.2. Current in wire is greater than directional force experienced by the wire. In front or towards peer. ये करंट नीचे जा रहा है, करंट नीचे जा रहा है. डायरेक्शन ऑफ फोर्स एक्सप्रेस बाय वायर है, सो वायर में करंट नीचे जा रहा है, करंट नीचे जा रहा है, ऐसे ऐसे towards PS. In the law, it is used to famous left hand rule. Right hand power and famous left hand. When a compass is placed in between two wires, it does not remain along the direction of magnetic field wire. At point R, the neutral point will always be found near the weaker magnet. At point R, because neutral wire will neutral point will also be near weaker magnet. 146. 92 to 38. The order of emission of meter radiation by elements meter radiation मतलब कि डेटा मतलब उसकी जो एटॉमिक नंबर होगी वो एक पड़ेगा मतलब कि 90 to 93 बन जाएगा इंडिया में मतलब थोड़ा सेंसर 93 बन जाएगा और इन बेसिकली में पूरा सेंसर इफ इट अंडरगोस अल्फा डीके अगर ये अल्फा डीके यानी कि 93 माइनस 2 यानी कि 91 पे हो जाएगा नंबर 2 माइनस का नाम से बोलिए और देखो तो गेट माइनस नंबर ऑफ प्रोटॉन्स तो डिफरेंस आंसर हो गया तो अच्छा करेगा परसेंट बोलना पड़ेगा सेक्शन में adjacent diagram shows for particles that one smaller the wavelength lesser more is the natural frequency. Natural frequency is inversely proportional to the length of the body. Lesser the length, more will be the natural frequency. DACB. DACB. The frequency of vibration of photon waves matches with the natural frequency of only one wire. Due to resonance, the amplitude of vibration increases. Angle of deviation is equal to 180 minus angle of incidence. Here by diameter reading V my V is equal to V is equal to V by E. 1.8 joule of energy is converted as heat due to friction. No case will violate law of conservation of energy. Sonar. Ultrasonic sound is used in this device because they can travel for long distance without any deviation. They can be confined to a narrow beam. Submarine E is equal to V square R. V square by R. So 60% by R. V square by R. Minimum effort. Under into 1.5 x into 3 x into 3 is equal to the beam is being lifted from the ground with the other end touching the ground. State as the reason whether the effort needed keeps on increasing, decreasing, or constant. The rule of an experiment of diffraction of light in a physics laboratory. ABCD is a rectangle. ABCD is a rectangle. ABCDs are written like that. Of incidents and engines which took place angle of incidence is equal to angle of incidence, angle of refraction is equal. Angle of reflection first surface is equal. Angle of incidence at second surface. Angle of refraction at second surface. Same is when performed first for red and then with blue light. Which color will support photographic displacement? Blue will support better light displacement. Yes, support. A minus 4 minus 2. A minus 4 minus 3. Minus 2 plus 1 add over. Make it minus 1. So A minus 4 so it will be both the recorders as it is. Melting place is parallel to time axis because unless and until all the ice gets converted into water, the temperature remains constant. Until and unless all the ice gets converted into water, the temperature remains constant. Temperature remains constant. When melting core heat is supplied from outside, it remains constant. The heat is used to break the to separate the molecules to break the bonds. Why is the slope O is steeper than slope B is your question. Slope as a specific heat capacity of ice is less than specific heat capacity of water. OA represents the specific heat capacity of ice and BC represents the specific heat capacity of water. Hence, ice needs less quantity of heat than water for the same measure temperature. And specific heat capacity. Specific heat capacity of OA is less than specific heat capacity of OA is less than specific heat capacity of BC. Hence the slope of OA is much more steeper than slope BC. And the specific heat capacity of solid is much less than specific heat capacity of liquid. Therefore, slope OA is less than slope BC. The diagram given to runs on vertical motivation. The diagram given is a potential motivation. Degrees. So vertical angle being 40 degrees. So this one refracts. This one goes to the surface. This one will go to the surface into a reflection. Oil power station water is first stored in a tank at higher altitude. Probes are being stored at higher altitudes to increase the potential energy. To increase the potential, to store the potential energy and increase it. When the water is allowed to fall on turbine, what change of energy takes place? Potential energy to kinetic energy. Kinetic energy and heat energy. Why is this turbine connected to armature of generator? This turbine is connected to the armature of generator to produce electricity. In which basic laws of physics is followed by the whole mechanism? Law of conservation of energy.